Recording in progress. Recording stopped. Recording in progress. Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
All right,
Hey, Coach.
Kaylee,
Can
I'm good if you are.
Yep, all set. We'll get started with questions, and
Right.
Pat will have our first question.
Good afternoon, Coach McDermott. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Pat. I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm very good. I wanted to ask you, what was the health of the team coming out of yesterday? And once again, you had two different views of how the taking care of the football. You guys had some very important takeaways from Miami, but you also turned the ball over. Can you just talk about that and most importantly, the health of the team, in particularly Dane Jackson?
Yeah, I'll give you. You kind of broke up there. I don't know if you have AirPods. I saw AirPods thing show up on the screen here, but I'll answer you on Dane. Dane has a knee and is day to day. We'll see where it goes this week.
And the other thing,
taking care of the football you mentioned, right?
Right.
Critical piece. I mean, we, did everything we could in some ways to hand that game over. We were up 17-3, and we got to do a better job with that. And I trust our players that they'll get that done moving forward here.
All right. Good luck to you this week, Coach.
All right. Thank you.
John, just to follow on that a little bit, in terms of some of the reasons why those turnovers happened. I mean, generally speaking, was it something they were doing that you didn't expect necessarily from a defensive standpoint, or is it just fundamental and ball security type stuff that we've talked about before?
Yeah, well, I think in yesterday's game, we throw the one down the field to John. I thought we could have made a better decision there, and then I'm sure Josh would agree, and I think he's already agreed to that. And then the one on Cole, just coming back to the ball a little bit more with extension with our hands, and give them some credit too. Their DB was driving on the ball pretty hard there. So those two, and then the obviously the one in the pocket with Josh on the after half play there, they made a good call on the pressure, and we got to play with better ball security.
And just one follow from me, the chance that Micah Hyde sees action in this game.
Yeah. He's not going to see action in this game.
Okay, thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Coach, good afternoon. Mookie Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080. How you doing, man?
Good, Mookie. How are you?
It is Victory Monday for, I'm losing count here. It's the 8th straight, but it's a new season. So, one is the number. But Josh was sacked 7 times yesterday, and it was under pressure a lot. How are you going to relieve that pressure when he's sitting in the pocket? And is it him not having the time, or is it the plays just not developing quick enough in your eyes at times?
I just think it's never one area, Mookie. I think it's something we'll look at this week and try and grow from and evolve as an offense a little bit as far as that goes. You're always trying to adjust, whether it's defensively, offensively, or special teams. And I'm confident in our offensive staff, and it's never just one player or one play. It's usually a combination of things. So we got to do a better job overall to make sure that doesn't happen going forward.
Yes, sir. And speaking of that involvement, how has Kyer evolved from a technical standpoint? And does his play earn him some snaps versus the Bengals on Sunday?
Yeah, we'll see on that. I was very pleased with his play yesterday. He played well in the run game and the pass game, and had the production on the ball that he had. And I thought 2 plays that stood out the most were his interception and then the 4th down at the end of the game there, the contested ball. So he prepared himself and he played like it.
Absolutely, Coach. Big game this week. You faced the Bengals since the tough ordeal Monday night. How important is it not to how do you prepare your team not to let the emotions of this week override the task at hand?
Well, we've been here before, and that's we've got good experience in the divisional round. We're grateful for that, and again, this is the next step. So it's the next game on our radar, and we've got to prepare accordingly.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great week of practice.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, Sean. I know with Josh, you already talked about some of those turnovers specifically, but just like as a whole, when you rewatched yesterday, what did you make of his game?
Yeah, I thought he got off to a really good start. Was in a rhythm, and we were productive with the drives. Other than that first drive that stalled out a little bit there at the plus top of field goal range, plus 30 something, 32, 33. And so overall, I thought we were into a good rhythm. And then we had the that one errant throw down the field there that led to that turnover. And from there, I think the momentum really changed. And so, but I was really proud of him and the way he got it back. To lead the team on, I think it was two more touchdown drives after that. That's hard to do, and I was very impressed by that.
With Christian Benford being back, I know it's been a little bit since he was back from IR, but just what have you seen out of him and coming back, and if he is needed, if Dane's still kind of day-to-day, just where is he at right now?
Yeah, he continues to get himself ready to go, and he's an option for us if Dane is, like you said, if Dane isn't able to make it.
Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, how has the respect towards the Bengals grown over the last couple of weeks, just with everything that Zach Taylor's done to support you guys, and the city of Cincinnati as well, with the hospital staff and just everything that community has helped bring support over the last couple of weeks with DeMar Hamlin?
Yeah, the game of football is obviously big, and the playoffs are big. I think what we learned about the NFL through all of this, as well as our world, is that life and human life is more important, right? And it takes precedent. You want to keep your eyes on the big picture at all times, and have proper perspective on things. And I think that's important. And as I said before, Zach and his staff, the players, their captains, were all first class in the way that they handled it and supported us through it. So we'll forever be grateful for that.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Head Coach Sean McDermott. George Radney, Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon?
Good, George. How are you?
Doing all right. One question for you. Has Josh Allen ever tried out those gloves that some of the quarterbacks use, and definitely the wide receivers use, that seem to have a little more, maybe not stickum, may not be the best word for it, but it has a little sticky, some type of substance that gives a better grip to the ball? Has he tried any of those out yet?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask him when I see him tomorrow, George. I'll ask him. I'll tell him you were asking about it. So I'll follow up with him and let him see what he says about those sticky gloves that you bring up. I remember Lester Hayes maybe used some of that back in the day in the Super Bowl when the Raiders were playing the Eagles, I think, back in the day, right?
No, he used the real stickum.
The real stickum.
The real stickum all over his body.
Yeah.
He didn't have a glove. He used the real stuff. Yeah, I see we both from the same era there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But it seems like some quarterbacks like using the gloves. I know Teddy Bridgewater and some of the other quarterbacks in the league seem to use it, and others seem like they just don't like it and prefer to go natural with it.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's personal preference really more than anything.
All right, thank you, and good luck this coming Sunday.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Sean, I had one more actually. Dean Marlowe, when we were talking to him after the game yesterday, had just a candidly funny anecdote of he said he was in the wrong place for his interception, but then everyone afterwards was like, oh, well, obviously you're living right if that's what's going to happen if you're in the wrong place and get a pick. I was wondering, just what did you see on that play first, and then what has Dean done over this stretch?
Yeah, he's done a nice job, making that play, and then just again the way he's handled himself through the course of coming here, not playing initially, and then getting his chance. And I think he stayed grounded and level-headed, which is what we'd expect of Dean, and he's done a great job, and that's why he's in the position he's in, and the position he was in yesterday.
Does it help a player to then have a moment like that when, like you said, there was a lot of layers to why he was getting back here, what's happened lately, just a lot going on for him, to then have a big play? What can that do for a guy? Yeah,
confidence, I think, to some extent, and just give when you work hard and you put yourself in position, I think you want to kind of reap the benefits of your hard work and everything, and I think that's a good payoff for him.
Thanks.
Hey, Sean, Josh Reed here. Thanks for taking a little time this afternoon. I appreciate it. I know it was only a couple of plays, handful of plays that actually happened in Cincinnati. Is there anything that you can learn from those plays, even though it was just a small chunk?
Hard to say. I mean, it's such a small sample, Josh, overall that, you average about, I don't know, between 60 and 70 plays a game. Normally there was, I don't know, we counted, was there 8 or 9 on defense and a few less on offense. So roughly, probably not much overall, but you go back to the drawing board more than anything.
Okay. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that.
Yep, sure.
Hey Sean, quick question. Is Jameson a possibility for this week?
I don't know yet. We'll see. I know about Mike. I don't know an update on James.
And then I was curious, with requests coming in for assistants and coordinators for interviews during this time, I know this is not the first time you've had that. Are you kind of handling it in a similar way? We're allowing those guys to do that this week, or allowing what's that? What are those conversations like?
Well, we go by the rules that the NFL puts forth in terms of what we can and can't do and what they can and can't do. More than anything, our focus is on the Bengals in this game this week.
Thanks.
That's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys.